What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review of Basketball Wives Season 8 Reunion Part 1. This season can't be over fast enough, let me tell you. This will be my last two reviews of anything Basketball Wives, okay? At this point, it really doesn't matter what I say. It just doesn't. Last week, the whole review I spent talking about how dumb Evelyn looked and how OG got the best of Evelyn and how OG, the whole review, I said one thing about OG. One thing. And that's what y'all harped on. So at this point, it really doesn't matter what I say. Y'all feel the way y'all feel. When I say y'all, I'm not talking about everybody, obviously. But y'all feel the way y'all feel. So it is what it is. So, I mean, if you're just going to leave comments cussing me out, telling me that I'm racist and all those other things, you can just save it because it is what it is. Of course, they had to address all of the drama surrounded by the reunion that we know that OG was asked not. OG was told they didn't want her on stage. Mark Lamont Hill went to go talk to her. OG was like, nope, that's not happening. They sent Jackie and Cece to go talk to her. Jackie was trying to figure out if there's any way we can meet somewhere in the middle. They talked about this wasn't the first time that this happened, that in past seasons, other members have been on closed set. We found out that Tammy was supposed to be on this separate set because she didn't want to be on stage with the rest of the ladies, and they accommodated her. I guess they figured since OG and Tammy are cool, that OG would be cool with filming with Tammy. Tammy ended up not coming anyway. They said she had an allergic reaction. She couldn't make it. OG was like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Like, if I don't get on the stage like everybody else, I'm not doing it. And she ended up leaving. And I 100% feel her. 100% feel where she's coming from. She said, look, other women have done worse than me and have been allowed to sit on the stage. Yet, for some reason, I can't get on that stage. Not having it. 100% agree with her. Jackie's point was, if you leave, you will never get an opportunity to tell your story. Your voice will not be heard. They will control the narrative. That is also a very valid point. OG eventually ended up coming back, and I think that's part of why she came back, so that she could tell her story, so that her voice would be heard. She did film on the separate set, and Kwame was with her, and he had her back. What we found out, now whether y'all choose to believe this or not, y'all think it's just a setup by Shawnee, which is what I'm sure that y'all are going to all say in my chat tomorrow, and that is what it is. What we found out is that there was some unaired footage. We found out that OG has been aggressive and that for whatever reason, those scenes had not aired. They did show us one clip where she was going after Kristen and was very after Phoebe, and was very aggressive about it, and it did get physical. She kept saying it wasn't physical, it did get physical. We saw where they said that she had even gone after production, that she confronted production, and they said that it happened multiple times. Now, whether you choose to believe that happened or not, I don't care. I tend to believe it because it lends more credibility to some of the comments that were being made, because some of the comments that were being made didn't seem to match up with what we saw on screen. And anything about reality shows is a whole lot of what they film ends up never making it onto what we see. There's all sorts of lost footage, and especially at the reunions, we see stuff we've never seen before. Whole scenes will get filmed. And you hear people on reality shows all the time say, well, me and so-and-so, I did a whole scene where I had a party at my house and they didn't use any of the footage. Or me and so-and-so went to dinner and we were at dinner for 3 hours and we talked about 500 things, but they showed 2 minutes of me ordering my appetizer. So we know it happens all the time. But again, the people who believe what they want to believe, you're going to believe what you want to believe. Moving on. So Cece leaves with OG. Now, Cece didn't double back, and I'm pretty sure that OG let Cece know that she was going to go back, that she had changed her mind, especially since Cece kind of stood with her and said, if you leave, I'm leaving. I'm sure she let Cece know that she was coming back. Cece chose not to come back, at least on this episode 1, but I don't think Cece came back at all. But Cece ain't want to do it anyway, honey. Cece ain't want to do the shit. So we finally, and the production ended up being like 2 hours late while they were doing all of this. Jennifer Ash was on stage the whole time waiting. I wouldn't have sat there for no whole hour by my damn self on that stage. I would have went back to my damn trailer, and they would have had to come and get me when everybody else was ready. I'd be damned if I'm sitting there looking stupid. The whole audience looking at me. I'm looking at them. They looking at me. They trying to figure out what the problem is. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. I got my phone in my hand pretending like I'm texting when I'm really trying to figure out what the fuck the problem is. Ain't no way in hell I'd sat on that stage for no daggone hour by myself. No ma'am, no sir. But anyway, we finally get the review. We finally get ready to get the reunion started. Then Jackie want to act the fool because Jackie said that she wanted to sit next to Mark Lamont Hill. Why that's where she wanted to be, I don't know. But she said, I told them I'm not coming on stage if I can't sit where I want to sit. That held them up another hour, I guess, 30, 40 minutes. Shawnee finally went to Evelyn and said, Evelyn, can you sit next to me so that Jackie can sit here? At first, Evelyn said yes, but then when she realized that Jackie was demanding it, she said no, but then she said, forget it, let's just do it. But once they did that, then they had to play damn Chinese checkers with everybody else because this person don't want to sit next to that person and that person don't want to sit next to that person. By the time we got it done, honey, the show started 2 hours late, and we were already 20 minutes into the damn reunion. So the first conversation they had, or the first people that they talked about, Jennifer Williams being back after last season. And he said, well, what brought you back this year? And why you didn't come to the reunion last year? She said, well, ain't nobody trying to throw a table at me this year. Valid point. Okay. Then they asked, basically, they let the audience know and let everybody know what happened with Cece and with OG or whatever. The only thing that kind of came out of that was pretty interesting was we come to find out that Kristen had some text messages that she wanted to share. Come to find out that Cece was the person that called Shawnee a bitch and not Kristen. Kristen then went back in her text, honey, and found it. She said, I was taking credit for something that I didn't even say. So Mark says, well, do you think that maybe it was just an oversight, that, it was a mistake? And she, and Kristen brought up a good point. She said, I think y'all make a lot of excuses for Cece and y'all make a whole lot of forgetfulness for Cece. So at the end of the day, we finally get started, child. The first people they dealt with, they talked about Jackie being the whole kumbaya at the beginning of the season. We know she ain't in the season the way she began, but the whole kumbaya at the beginning of the season. But then they do Phoebe and Jackie. Now let me tell you something. Was I the only one that felt like we were in elementary school? Here's the real bottom line with that whole Phoebe and Jackie thing. Phoebe's feelings are hurt. And I'm not saying whether it's valid or whether it's not valid, but Phoebe's feelings are hurt. She said, you hurt my feelings. She said, you were the main person that I wanted to get to know, and I wanted to be your friend, and you didn't want to be my friend, and you didn't like me, so now I don't like you. And it sounded real elementary school. Was I the only one that felt like the way Phoebe was talking was real elementary school? Well, you don't like me, so now I don't like you. And Jackie even tried to sort of, explain herself to Phoebe, and Mark was saying, well, maybe y'all could be friends. And I think Jackie would have been open to it, but Phoebe was like, no, I don't want to be her friend now. And I was like, wow, that's real elementary school. The second thing I want to say is, and y'all know I don't normally get into the wigs and the outfits, because as you notice, I didn't critique nothing on that stage. But honestly, nothing on that stage was worth critiquing. But who fucked up Phoebe wig? Because under them lights or whatever, however they put it on, honey, you could clearly see her lace front. It was clear. So who fucked up Phoebe wig? And it was funny because OG called it out at the end when OG came back. Honey, OG called that thing out. It was hilarious. But anyway, so that was Jackie and Phoebe. So then they brought up the whole... I'm sorry. So then they brought up the song again. And Phoebe, once again, tried to make it seem like that wasn't what the song was about. And everybody was like, come on, Phoebe. You were talking about OG. Just stand in your shit. Like, you was talking about OG. It was what it was. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody joked about it. Just stand in your shit. And I agree. But I said that when it happened. And I still feel the same way. Phoebe, just stand in your shit. You was talking trash about OG wearing fake outfits. Just stand in your shit. Then we deal with Miss Jennifer. What's wrong with Jennifer, y'all? What's wrong with Jennifer? Mark gave her an out, and she didn't take it. He said the comment about Shaq, when he said, well, you know, it wasn't true or something, you brought it back. And she was like, well, I never said it wasn't true. So, of course, that pissed Shawnee off all over again, because Shawnee was like, why are we talking about my ex-husband and my child's father? Because when you disrespect him, you disrespected my children. Now, I don't necessarily say I agree with that line of thinking, but I don't have a baby daddy. I don't have babies. So I can't say how that woman feel. I don't see it that way, but I'm not in her shoes. But at the end of the day, Jennifer, you should have just let that go. You did not have to clarify. Because so then Mark was like, so are you saying that it is true? Are you trying to say that Shaq and Evelyn did sleep together? She was like, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is I never said it wasn't true. Then what the hell are you saying, Jennifer? And why did you feel the need to clarify that? Then Jennifer says, well, all I'm saying is, I mean, you know, Shawnee has said stuff about him before, so I didn't think that it was a big deal to say it. Y'all know the rule. Everybody knows the rule. I can talk shit about my ex-husband. I can talk shit about my mama. I can talk shit about my sister, my brother, my cousin. You cannot. You can nod your head when I'm saying it, but you don't get to talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that is the rule, Jennifer. Then she brought up the whole thing with her mom again. And Evelyn said that she regretted saying what she said. But she said, I wasn't coming after Jennifer's mom. I was just saying that this is not the woman that I was friends with. And you losing your mother doesn't turn you into this person. That's the point I was trying to make, she said. And of course, Jennifer was like, well, I just think it was inappropriate. I think what you said was just inappropriate. Shawnee got pissed off, honey, because she was about to, so she walked off stage and took a break, so then we had to wait again. Let me tell you something. I used to think I wanted to go to one of these reunions. After seeing this, I don't know if I want to go to this shit. Because, I mean, 3 hours of just nothing. Then they kind of teased Shawnee about the whole Shaq thing. The son is fine. He's getting ready to start basketball season. Everything is everything. And then they talked about her and Shaq flirting, and she tried to make it seem like it was one-sided. You was a little flirty too. But I understand what you're saying, that you don't really necessarily want to go back down that road. But I can understand, you know, you was a little flirty too, honey. But Shaq was flirting. I don't know if Shaq really mean it, but he was flirting. Now, whether he mean it or not, that's a whole nother conversation. And Shawnee know whether he mean it or not. So, it sound like he just liked to flirt. He probably was putting on for the camera a little bit too. So, after all of this, now OG is back, honey. She went straight for the colorism. Everybody on the panel disagreed. She tried to come after Phoebe. Phoebe was like, don't do it. Don't go there, because my ex is dark-skinned. My children are dark-skinned. My children are darker than you, and they are beautiful, and I don't feel no different. Then Malaysia tried to say something, and she tried to come after Malaysia, talking about, well, you bleach. First she said, you bleached your skin. And then when Malaysia clapped back, she said, well, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. But see, that ain't what you said. What you said is that, Malaysia, you bleached your skin. So, again, y'all feel the way y'all feel. I feel the way I feel. I don't think that it's a colorist thing. I think they just didn't like OG, just like me. I don't dislike OG because she dark skinned. I just don't like her. She just don't do it for me. And that's fine. But don't turn it. I don't think this is a color issue. I just don't. I don't. And ain't nobody gonna convince me otherwise. Her situation with Evelyn is her situation with Evelyn. But across the board, I don't think it's a color issue. Now, I'm done. Y'all can cuss me out in the chat. I don't care. I just don't. And that was this week. We'll see what happens next week. And hallelujah, I'll be done. Peace.